Hey, Rad Pack, this is Heather Zeitzwolf, and you are listening to Get Radical with Your Business. Today we are talking about the highs and lows of business. Ah, yes, the cash flow roller coaster. I want you to imagine that you just had your best month ever. Yahoo! You landed your VIP client, and you are a sales ninja, and the money is just coming through. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Oh my God, you are so excited. You're like, woohoo, best month ever. So you DM your friends and you're like, oh my God, I just had my best month ever. You're like, I deserve a night on the town. You go with your girlfriends and you go have drinks and you're like, woo, yes. And then the next day you come into your office and you're like, oh man, I want to look at my bank account, all the money in there. You log into your bank account and you're suddenly confused because what happened to all the money that was there? You're scratching your head and you're looking at your screen and you see that you only have $300 in the bank. What? Panic sets in. You feel all the blood in your face completely drain away. Wait a minute, what's going on? For a minute there, you think, maybe someone stole my identity and took all my money. And then you look at all the transactions and, oh, they're all yours. You're starting to have a panic attack because, wait a minute, you thought you had like the best month ever and now you have $300? Like, what is going on? So you start to look at these transactions. Now imagine this being you. You're like, okay, I spent some money on some software. It was renewed. Maybe you had a check that cleared that you forgot about. All these things are happening and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Rent is due in like 2 days. And I got $300 in the bank. Yeah, this is what I call the cash flow roller coaster. You're on that high and then you're on that low. I don't want this for you. Because you know what happens when you're on the cash flow roller coaster? Eventually, you have to get off that ride and get on, beep, beep, the bankruptcy bus. Ugh. I don't want you to get on the bankruptcy bus. What I want you to do is get on the luxury cruise of business that is smooth sailing, that you can set sail in any direction you want, and it is calm seas ahead. Everything is running like clockwork. It is so efficient, and you have the feeling of abundance. Smooth sailing. I was just recently on a cruise, and I was so amazed how efficient everything ran on the cruise. That is exactly how I want your business to function, because when it does, that means that you can take a vacation and the money will still roll in and your clients will still be served and everything will be fine. No matter what direction you go and no matter what storm there is ahead. But how do we get to this point? Bliss is an acronym that I'm going to share with you that will explain how you can go from the cash flow roller coaster to blissing financially in your business and setting sail on those calm seas ahead. All right, are we ready? Okay, deep breath because some of this stuff may sound a little scary, but I got your back, okay? Are you ready? The first B in Bliss stands for, okay, you sitting down? Budgets and bookkeeping. Okay, don't turn this show off, okay? Please don't do that. I gotcha, I promise. I know budgets, that sounds so restrictive. Oh my God, it's like a diet. And, I hate a diet. I don't know about you, but I hate being on a diet. Give me a cinnamon roll. I'm thinking about cinnamon rolls because I got some of those Annie's cinnamon rolls. They came in a package from Costco and they're sitting in my refrigerator, and man, I want a cinnamon roll. Okay, budgets. Get back to that. A budget is restrictive. Budgets, bookkeeping, all these words really mean is it's a system to track your transactions. It doesn't have to be technical. In fact, I believe it should be as simple as possible. So it's super easy for you to use and navigate. And in fact, you can gamify it and make it into a dashboard so it's completely visual. I want you to find a system that works for you. Some people are more visual. Some people like spreadsheets, like me. Let me give you an example of my client, Jane. When she looked at spreadsheets, oh my God, her head would spin around like The Exorcist. I may not be a priest, but I broke Jane free from that demonic technology possession because I helped her set up an envelope system. It can be that easy. Plus, you don't need to do this alone. You didn't go to school necessarily to be a bookkeeper. Find a professional who can help you and explain it to you. All right, take a deep breath. Are you ready to bliss more in your business? The next one is L. L stands for, are you ready? Look at your numbers. Okay, breathe. Are you breathing? Let's just take in a deep breath. Yes. Look at your numbers. Here's the reality. If you keep your head in the sand, you can't make informed decisions. I want you to take on this mantra. What you track and look at, you can impact. I feel like Dr. Seuss. What you track and look at, you can impact. You ready? Say it with me. What you track and look at, you can impact. Now, I want you to get radical with your numbers. And when I mean that, I don't mean just financially, but other key indicators, such as numbers around sales, leads, marketing, labor, and other expenses. Do you remember the Count from Sesame Street? He counted everything. 1, 2, 3. I encourage you to be the Count rather than Mr. Snuffleupagus. Remember Mr. Snuffleupagus? He was always hiding from things. We don't want Snuffleupagus in our business. We want to be the Count. Let me give you a story about a client. We're going to call her Sheila. She hadn't looked at her numbers for years and years. Her anxiety was so high. Every time she thought about her numbers, her financials, she had panic attacks or would fall into a really deep depression. This is real. This is happening a lot with people in business. So when she came to me, she said, you know what? It's time for me to put on my big girl pants, but I'm so scared. So I helped her breathe. Let's do it again. Let's breathe. And I designed a simple system that worked for her. Once the numbers were compiled, a story emerged. All this time, she was carrying around this giant weight on her shoulders. She was feeling like a loser, depressed all the time. But in reality, her business was actually performing better than she expected. After looking at the numbers and seeing the story behind the numbers, I was able to find some tweaks that she could make. And then by the next year, she doubled her income. This can be you. So what you track and look at, you can impact. When it comes to your numbers, don't be Mr. Snuffleupagus and hide from your numbers. Instead, be the Count. All right, are we blissing here? Now let's go to I in the framework. I stands for implement and invest. As entrepreneurs, we have so many ideas. They are floating around in our heads. We're always starting new things. We have a tendency to have shiny object syndrome. And before we can actually roll out the thing that we've been working on, we're on to the next thing. And a lot of time we just kind of live in our head. It's an easier, safer place to be because when you take action, you may fail. But really, to get to where you want to go, you need to take action because otherwise nothing happens. Have you heard that quote by Tony Robbins? If you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. If you schedule it, it's real. Well, I want you to take it one step beyond scheduling. I want you to actually do the thing. Because if you finally get out of your head and take action, the more people you can serve and the greater your impact, both on the world and financially. Now, investing in yourself, investing in your business and investing in your personal growth is important. I think as entrepreneurs, it is key for us to invest back into our business as long as we make the right choices. Oftentimes I see people, getting bogged down thinking they need to get certification after certification before they take action. Now, I love to learn, and I've done the same kind of thing. I've gotten certified in many different things, but we want to get to a place where we believe in ourselves and we don't need more of those certifications. But coaching is something that you may really need. Investing in yourself really can help. Now, I've invested in several programs this year. I've got different coaches. They help me with various areas of my business. I find that having coaches, they can help you get out of your head and help you take action. And here's the key. You want to be able to implement, and you want to make sure that you have an ROI, return on investment. And that investment in yourself should have a monetary return. Implement, take action, and invest in yourself. So remember what Tony Robbins said, schedule it, it's real, but I want you to take it one step further and actually do it. So I stands for implement in your business and invest both in yourself and your business. Okay, next in the framework is S. The first S in the Bliss framework stands for systems and strategies. I know, people are like, ugh, systems and strategies. It's like the budgets and the bookkeeping. Oh my God, Heather, what are you talking about? I want you to find what works for you. Keep it super simple. In my business incubator, I've created a warm place to help entrepreneurs grow. It feels safe, it's supportive, it's a community. And in there, I give you tools that work for you. It's not cookie cutter because I don't believe that all businesses are the same, that they can follow all the same templates. And some people are just not into spreadsheets versus people that love sticky notes or whiteboards. I want you to use a system and strategy that works for you. That might look like sticky notes. It might look like a whiteboard. It could be a giant calendar on your wall, paper organizer. It could be a spreadsheet. It could be anything. Depends on how you like to work. What types of systems work for you? It could be as easy as a checklist. Now, why do you need these systems and strategies? Well, because if you don't have systems and strategies, your work can become very inefficient, wasting time, money, and effort. I don't want that for you in your business. I want things to be smooth sailing. I don't want inefficiencies. I don't want you to waste time, wasting money. Oh my God, no, none of those. Now, here's the thing. If you can have systems and strategies, what it will give you is time freedom, peace of mind, more money, less time working and more time going on vacation, and your business can function without you and make more money. And you can make money while you're lying on a beach sipping out of a coconut. Oh my God. So my sister, she hates spreadsheets and she's not really a technology kind of person. And she used to be in sales. And so I would sometimes come over and help her get things organized because it was just like, she'd be like, oh, I hate this stuff. And I loved that kind of stuff. My sister was the type that her method of organization was scribbling on envelopes or random pieces of paper, and her email was never organized, and she was supposed to be using this CRM, and she hated it. Oh my God. She hated it. And I figured out a system that worked for her using paper files. You don't always have to use technology. You can make it as easy as possible. Just find what works for you. I want you to have systems and strategies so that you can rinse and repeat rather than reinvent the wheel. This will give you time freedom, peace of mind, more money, and your business can function without you. All right, the next S stands for sales. Sales is something that, it's easier just to go on social media. Now, this S does not stand for social media. This S stands for sales. Social media is important, yes, but it can also be a distraction. Social media is marketing. It's not sales. We don't want to get those two things confused. We need to focus more on sales, and I want you to get creative and have fun with sales. Don't overcomplicate it. Make it easy. Now, here's the thing. You got to make money to have money, and we don't want to be all depressed. We want to be positive, and that way we can be creative. Years ago, I was a project manager in market research, and then I went and worked for Swatch for a few years. Now, I collected Swatch watches. I loved Swatch. And when I took over that store, it had gone from one of the best performing stores in the country to one of the worst performing stores in the country. And in that first year that I took over the store, we had the best year that store has ever had. How did I do it? Well, I got creative. I did a little market research. I found out what the market really wanted. They wanted retro watches. And when I took over the store, I interviewed my staff to get to know them, to build rapport, and I changed the work culture. I made things fun. And I did it through gamification. We'd have all kinds of weird, fun things going on each day, and including this Candyland type game that I built to incentivize them and put some positive competition with prizes and games and help meet their quotas. Have fun in sales. I'm putting an extra bliss in this bliss, and the bliss in the last S is scrappy and serve. I want you to be scrappy. Imperfect action is better than no action. We don't need to be fancy. We don't need to have expensive software to get going. Just be scrappy so that we can serve. Because the longer we wait, the less of an impact we can make. Perfect is boring. It's like the stuck-up cheerleader chick in high school. Like, she was so perfect. Who'd want to be like that? It doesn't help anybody to be perfect. Waiting to be perfect. And what is perfect anyways? There's no such thing as perfect. Just get going. Because here's the reality. You're in a business. You need to make money. And to make money, you have to just get out there. When I started my membership, my business incubator, I just started totally scrappy. I didn't use any kind of fancy membership platform. I just started with a free Slack channel and a Google Drive, and everybody was super happy to get in there and start learning and start a community together and have some accountability. And if I had kept waiting to get started with the fancy Kajabi or whatever it was, I wouldn't have been able to help the people that I was able to help in that time period. And in fact, when I asked my group if they wanted the fancy software, they said, no, we like the free Slack and we like the Google Drive. It just makes it super, super easy. You don't necessarily have to use the fanciest stuff. Just do it scrappy. I'll give you an example. When I was working for Swatch and I was doing things scrappy, trying to bring in more business to the store. We had trouble with just foot traffic. I had to use my creativity. I had to get creative. We had all these catalogs that were sent to the store, and for the most part, we just waited for people to come into the store, and if they wanted a catalog, they could take a catalog. But what I did with all the catalogs was I put stickers on it with our address, and I went around to different hair salons and asked them if I could leave a catalog, in the area where they had magazines. And they said yes, and it brought foot traffic into the store. We put on all kinds of events and parties, and I had no budget. This store I took over was failing, and there was no way they were going to give me money to put on parties. So we did it scrappy. We dressed up in costumes. I brought in things for us to wear. We had fun days. Like there was a watch that was like a beach watch, a summer watch. And so we did displays all around summer watches and beaches. We had beach balls in the store. And, every time someone came into the store, we wanted them to be part of the party. We welcomed them into the store immediately, and we brought them into the party. That's what I want to do with my clients. I want to bring them into my party because business doesn't have to be boring. Finances, sales doesn't have to be stressful and boring. We can make these things fun. And part of that fun is just bringing our authenticity, which means just doing things scrappy. We don't have to be fancy. To wrap things up, let's go over the Bliss framework again, because I want to make sure that you are not on that roller coaster, the cash flow roller coaster. Instead, that you are smooth sailing on the luxury cruise that you deserve. All right, B, budgets and bookkeeping. Remember, keep it simple. L, look at your numbers. Again, make it simple and easy for you to do this, and get help if you need it. That's what my incubator is for people to come in and ask me questions. I would love to have you there. Okay, so we got BLI, implement and invest. Got to take action. You got to keep growing as an entrepreneur. And part of that is coaching and getting some guidance. S, the first S is systems and strategies. Doesn't have to be complicated. Do what works for you. You like flowcharts? Use flowcharts. You like checklists? Use checklists. It doesn't have to be complicated. You want to make videos of your process? Do it that way. Keep it simple. The next one. S, sales. Again, make it fun. You don't have to be the used car salesman. Make it fun. And remember that you are here to serve. That is so important. Sales means serving. And then we got that extra S in there. It's Bliss. And that is scrappy. We are doing things scrappy so we can serve now. My friends, if you are interested in playing with me, I would love to have you check out my incubator. Please let me know if you want to come in, hang out with us. All you have to do is go to getradbiz.com/membership. There's also links in the show notes. I would love to be able to serve you in the group. And you can just come check it out for free. All you have to do is just contact me. You can even drop me an email at heather@getradbiz.com. Come check it out. See what our community is all about. It's supportive. It's a great environment for you to grow your business with guidance, support, and other peers that really care about you and that you can bounce ideas off of. We shouldn't live in a silo as entrepreneurs. We need to be able to collaborate with others. So I encourage you to check it out. Remember, get off that cash flow roller coaster because we don't want you on the beep beep bankruptcy bus. No way. We want you on that smooth sailing luxury cruise that's super efficient and full of abundance. All right, I'll see you next time.